From the shadowy forests to the heart of our cities, the wild is pushing back. Predators on the hunt, desperate to survive in a world that's closing in. Deer dodging danger, birds battling for survival. Bears raiding bins and shocking locals, all fighting for a place to call home. Nature is changing fast, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Get ready to dive into a raw, unfiltered look at wildlife on the edge. This is survival. This is conflict. This is life, wild and untamed. Or can they adapt in time? Bears are powerful, curious creatures, and they're learning to adapt to life alongside humans in surprising ways. Instead of roaming deep forests, some bears are venturing right into towns and cities. Why? Because the easiest food is often found where people live. Garbage bins bursting with leftovers, food scraps, even pet food left outside, a smorgasbord for hungry bears. But the teddy bear's picnic isn't child's play. There's a dark side. Residents wake up to overturned bins, scattered trash, the unmistakable hallmarks of bears. Some locals are frustrated, others scared, because a bear in your backyard isn't just a wild animal, it's a potential threat. Wildlife officers intervene, trapping, relocating, or even euthanizing bears that become too bold. But these urban raids are a symptom, not the disease. Bears don't want to be pests, they just want to survive. And when we leave out temptation, we're inviting them in. Experts say secure your bins, don't feed the bears. We need to listen to keep communities safe and animals wild. Because the moment a bear loses their fear of humans, the line between coexistence and conflict becomes razor thin. The Eurasian lynx is a ghost of the forest. Elusive, silent, and unseen. Adults live a solitary life and don't like to share, even with family. This young lynx is 2 years old, strong and capable. He should have left home by now. But he's trapped. Forced to share the territory of his father. A busy road cuts off access to the rest of the forest. On the other side, space for an independent future. But crossing could mean death. Even for an experienced adult like his father, the speeding cars that surround his home mean that danger is ever present. Tonight's hunt will be his last. Focus. Speed. Then blinding headlights. Life shattered in an instant. This is the deadly toll of roads, carving nature into pieces, leaving nowhere left to run. But there is hope. Engineers and conservationists are building bridges, not for cars, but for animals. A green overpass camouflaged with trees, guiding wildlife safely over highways. And today, the young lynx finds it. Crossing into new territory and a new future. These green bridges are more than just concrete and plants, they're lifelines. Proof that with ingenuity, we can help fix what we've broken. It's hard to imagine anything more innocent than a baby beaver. Drying off next to mum, slicking down his fur with waterproof oil. But for centuries, families like this were hunted. For fur, for meat, even for the oil in their glands. In countries like Britain, they were wiped out completely. But these furry fighters are making a comeback. They're spreading, recolonising former homelands, sometimes helped by reintroductions. It's good news, not just for the beavers, but for all wetland wildlife. Because beavers are eco-engineers. They reshape entire rivers, taking down old trees to build dams, creating lush new wetlands that support hundreds of other species. But not everyone's rolling out the welcome mat. Because their dams can cause flooding to farmers' fields, and hungry beavers are known to steal crops. They don't like to wander far from water, but if a tasty field sits right on the riverbank, it's fair game. They're not raiding out of malice, they're just looking for food, and most of their natural wetlands are long gone. Lost to agriculture as farms claim more and more land. But their behaviour puts them in the crosshairs. In some areas, even where they're protected, beavers are shot and killed. But there is a better way. When conflicts rise, local authorities can relocate beavers to regions where numbers need boosting. It's not just ethical, it's ecological. Because wherever beavers go, life follows. Birds, fish, frogs all benefit from the wild, watery worlds they create. The cost of coexistence? Some flooded land, some chewed trees, but the reward? A thriving ecosystem, built not by us, but nature's master architects. The African savanna is home to giants. And none are more powerful or more misunderstood than the elephant. These herds move with purpose, led by a wise matriarch, following ancient migration paths in search of food and water. But over the last decade, Africa's human population has exploded. New villages and farms have been built across routes that elephants have used for generations. Families grow what they need to survive. Every crop counts. But when night falls, elephants emerge from the shadows, driven by hunger, unaware of human boundaries. A single herd can wipe out an entire field in one night, and no fence, no sign, no wishful thinking can stop them. Trapping or shooting them is not the answer. Aggressive defence tactics often create more problems. Wounded elephants become violent, and retaliation only fuels the cycle of fear and death. Instead, some farmers turned to smarter, safer methods. Flashlights, drums, noise, chaos. The shock and awe tactics may seem harsh, but they work. And they're a whole lot better than bloodshed. Meanwhile, conservationists are mapping elephant movements, building wildlife corridors, safe zones where elephants can roam freely between reserves, away from people's homes. And sometimes the elephants come to us in peace. In 2015, a lone male elephant wandered into Elephant Sands Lodge in Botswana. He was dehydrated, limping. The staff gave him water and even cooled him off with a hose. They named him Benny. The team called a vet, treated his injury, and Benny went back to the wild. But the story doesn't end there. Every year since, when the dry season returns, so does Benny. Walking hundreds of kilometres to the same lodge, seeking water and the humans who once helped him. He's become part of the landscape, a living example of trust, of what can happen when humans choose compassion over conflict. Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean is home to a small community of residents. Here, every human is outnumbered by their wild neighbours, including millions and millions of crabs, big and small. And once a year, when rain lures the iconic red crabs out of their dens, the island hosts one of the largest animal migrations on Earth. Driven on by instinct and the need to breed, the red crab's destination is the coast, where they will mate and spawn. And they'll get there at any cost. Shady forest valleys become migration corridors, the perfect place to pick up a bite. It's no walk in the park. Bandits wait in ambush. Robber crabs pick off stragglers. For those caught in their vice-like grip, it's a brutal death, nature's way of controlling numbers. But there's nothing natural about the next hurdle. Roads. Millions used to fall victim, but this is a story that proves that change can make a difference. Because now, when it's migration time, roads are closed, and the red crabs have the right of way. Just a few kilometres from their beach destination, there's one more obstacle to overcome. The manicured lawn is a far cry from the forest, and the weird two-legged creatures are much bigger than the bandit robber crabs. But the golfers mean them no harm. The crabs may need to think fast, but with some fancy footwork, they are soon on their way to their happy ending. Sun, sea and sex, the next generation secured. Around the world, human-wildlife conflict is rising, and yet so is our potential to solve it. From green bridges in Europe, to ecotourism in Africa, to relocated beavers in busy farmland. We are not separate from nature. We're a part of it. This is when the tides will turn. And when we choose coexistence, when we listen, learn and adapt, we create a world where both people and animals can thrive. Can't do it alone. This is when the tides will turn. Subscribe to Wild to the World for more stories that reveal the beauty and the challenge of living alongside nature. Tell us in the comments which animal story stuck with you the most. The bold bear, the brave lynx, Benny the elephant. Like the video to support peaceful coexistence, and share this with someone to spread the love of nature.